Welcome to Short Bites, a Stephen King podcast. On this episode, I am proud to welcome NJ Gallegos. I did it! Today we are talking about Stephen King's short story, Strawberry Spring. You can check out my conversation with NJ on my other podcast, Weird Reads, which is on episode 38. NJ is the author of The Fatal Mind, Just Desserts, and The Broken Heart. I read The Fatal Mind for the podcast where we talked, and it is a hoot. I highly recommend reading it. I still remember Dr. Absinthe. I don't think I'll ever forget her.
Yeah, she's the best, isn't she?
She is. And not only is NJ an excellent author, she's also an emergency room doctor. Yeah, you heard that right. She sees and heals the weirdest ailments you ever heard of. And on top of all that, she's a rabid Stephen King fan, and I'm happy to have her here with me now. Welcome to Short Bites, NJ. How are you doing these days?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me. I wore my special shirt today. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah, Maximum Overdrive. Awesome. Yeah. We just covered that. I'm wearing a Stephen King shirt, too. It's The Stand.
The best novel ever.
Yes. I just finished rereading it, and it was a blast. I enjoyed it, I think, more than I ever have before. I don't know how that came to be, but because I've always loved it.
I think it gets better with each reread, honestly.
I think you're right, yeah. All right, I have everything falling down on me here. Have you ever had like a karma week where it's like everything is coming at you at once?
Oh, yeah. I think that's like standard where bad things happen, at least in threes. So
Yeah, well, I had the one big one. I've had like a whole bunch of little things happening where, things fall on your head and stuff like that.
So yeah, little things, they will add up to one big thing. So maybe you're done.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I think I'm collecting karma. I don't think you're into baseball, but the Blue Jays made the playoffs and their first game is today. So hopefully all this bad karma is happening to all the fans so that all the good karma can go to the team and they can win.
Yeah, you're going to break your ankle and you're big, but as long as they win, it's fine.
I hope this is some sort of magic that will transfer to the Blue Jays and we're going to win now. Yeah.
It's a way to cope with the, unhappiness of life. So I approve it.
It's all the way you think about it.
Yeah.
Right? So you're pretty familiar with podcasting. You have a podcast yourself. For those who don't know, it's called Scream Kings. And your last episode, you had Alma Katsu on. How was that?
Oh, she is so cool. Like,
she is
insanely cool.
How did you get her on the show?
Just kind of like a cold email. Yeah. I sent her an email, introduced myself. I think that the ER doctor thing helps a little bit because, we talked way too much about foreign bodies in places they shouldn't be, per usual.
That seems to be a favorite topic.
It is.
When people talk to you about being an ER doctor, it's like, so what have you found stuffed up, in the where the sun don't shine?
Well, we can go through it for sure. First, I think I need to talk to a therapist about it because it's probably some sort of thing. I've had a golf ball and a golf ball. And if you think I didn't make a hole in one joke once I got it out, you're an idiot because I did. Your standard vibrator, which is kind of boring. A lotion bottle, and then playing dice, like Yahtzee dice.
Ow.
Yeah.
That I don't understand myself.
I also do not.
But whatever floats your boat, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
I've heard of worse, like hamsters and stuff. So
yeah, I haven't had that yet. Which,
Thank God.
I can't tell if I really want that, just because I want the story, but I don't want that to happen to a little hamster.
Yeah, I mean the poor hamster.
I know.
It didn't ask for that. It didn't ask to be here. Never mind to end that way.
What if that's that hamster's kink? You never know. Do we ask?
You have a point there. So were you a big fan of podcasts before starting your own?
Yeah, I love podcasts. I probably listen more to podcasts like going to and from work than music. I like just gleaning all the information and soaking it in and pretending I have, friends laughing along with the jokes.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. It feels like you have friends, and it feels like you're a part of the conversation often, right?
Right.
So what were some of your favorite podcasts that you enjoy listening to?
I was a big fan of Last Podcast on the Left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They have
I listened to that years
stuff.
ago, but yeah.
They have a lot of, I think that they kind of fell off a little. I liked when they did a lot of the true crime and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think which other, now like that we're talking about it, every single podcast flew out of my brain. It's like, great. Yeah, it's gone.
That's okay. You know what? It's easy for me. When I get questions like that, I often have the same issue. My mind just goes blank. But for me, it's easy because I listen to two different types of podcasts, and one of them is horror author podcasts. I absolutely love interviews and whatnot. But I also like some other like different types of podcasts. But those are kind of rare and in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you listen to audiobooks too?
Not as much. I like reading them better.
Yeah. Yeah, I am an audiobook freak because it's easy. I have a job that really you don't have to think while you're doing it. So when we're allowed to wear our headphones, so I gobble up a lot of podcasts and audiobooks.
That's nice.
Learn a lot. I absorb a lot of words.
And it's great? You actually know how to like pronounce the words.
Yeah.
Because like how many times are you reading books and you're like, I have no idea what that is, but all right.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of podcasts with you on it this week, and that's how I got to pronounce your last name.
How many times did you practice?
Oh, you can trust me. I was like working away, and I was like, Gallegos.
You get an A in Spanish this semester.
So, have you listened to any audiobooks at all? Like any Stephen King ones?
Yeah, the last one I remember listening to was The Institute. Yeah.
What do you think of that book?
I liked it. I'd like to reread it, like print.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how it kind of tied in a little bit to Firestarter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, I would say that was probably the last one I listened to audio-wise. Probably any book, yeah.
Awesome. I've listened to a lot of Stephen King books, but, like you, I prefer reading with my eyes. But I find the time sometimes you just can't find the time to do it. And so it gets easier and easier just to use the audiobook. All right, so we're going to move things along here, and I'm going to take you to the Stephen King Grill. I got to get some music for that. So when I say the Stephen King Grill, it'll be like
a sizzle
or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like the fajita sizzle.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is the first question that everyone gets asked for their first time. What is your Stephen King origin story?
Well, I recall watching a lot of his movies with my mom. So, I watched Carrie, Christine, that kind of thing. But as far as the books, I was probably, 10, 11. And I would read through books very quickly. Like, I'd be done in an hour and a half. And my mom was getting tired of having to either go to the library to get me new books or buy me new books. So she got her copy of The Stand and tossed it at me. And she's like, read that in an hour and see how that goes.
Which version was it? Was it this one, like on my shirt, or was it the uncut one?
It was the uncut one, and it had the little like dark figure and the light figure fighting. Yeah, it was that one, and it was the unabridged version. It took me a little bit longer than an hour for sure, but I was
maybe 2 hours.
Hooked. Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
I take it you're a fast reader.
Yeah. You kind of have to be, honestly.
Especially with your profession, right?
Yeah, because like medical school, it's literally like drinking from a fire hose. You've heard that expression, I'm sure. Yeah, it helps to read very quickly.
You drown in the information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That. I don't think I would survive that, honestly.
It's geared to a certain kind of like learning. Like if you're very good at just like memorizing and regurgitating, you can do medical school pretty easily.
I have no aspirations, to be honest. I have my first aid training as part of my job.
Yeah.
And I fear the moment when I'm going to have to save somebody's life or at least assist, because I don't have, my anxiety is in regards to that is way too high. I'm afraid I'm going to mess up and make it worse.
Just be the person that calls 911. You're like, I'll call 911. You do the other stuff for sure.
I'll tell them what to do. And then, yeah. All right. Do you have a favorite short story or novella by Stephen King?
Probably The Mist. I love The Mist.
The Mist is good. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen the? What do you think? Or first of all, have you seen the movie? And what do you think of the ending of the movie?
Loved it. Like,
yeah,
it was so bleak. Yeah, and it's like such a gut punch because he's offs everybody, and then it just clears up, and they're like, "Oh, we're here to save the day." Like, it's just such a,
Yeah, that's the karma thing.
Yeah,
that's like a bad week, right? A bad day.
For sure. And I think I saw or read somewhere that Stephen King said that he wished he would have come up with that ending.
Yeah. Well, the novella itself, it ends sort of open-ended, right? I think they're in a house and they're waiting to go out again or something like that.
And he's listening to the like radio or something, and he hears,
And they've been traveling forever.
But yeah, that one is great. And then as far as short story, I really like Survivor type. Oh
yeah, that one is so nasty. When I ask this question, I get those two answers the most.
Really?
But Survivor type is special, right? Like, who thinks of that type of stuff? I guess other than Stephen King, it's an interesting scenario, right?
Yeah. God bless that man and his just messed up brain. I love it.
Yeah. That's why there's so many podcasts, just on Stephen King alone, right?
Yeah. The godfather of horror.
Absolutely. So, would you rather read only King novels or his shorter works for the rest of your life?
I'd probably say novels. Yeah.
I think I'm going to axe that question because everyone says the same. I was the only one who answered differently when I first came up with the question. I think maybe I was being biased because of the podcast I was starting. So I was like, only short stories and novellas.
You have to say it.
Yeah. I'm standing behind my podcast here. No, but I agree, I think, with novels because there's so much more layers in the novels, right? And that's probably why everyone chooses that.
And I love that they're all interconnected, right? There's Easter eggs and almost everything, and that just thrills me.
Yeah, me too, honestly. I love it when I come across that kind of stuff. So, are you a big rereader of King's work? And if so, which book or collection of his do you keep returning to?
Yes, I am a big rereader. My not to poo on your podcast because I do love Night Shift, but Skeleton Crew is probably my favorite.
Oh, well,
collections.
That we're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Hit me up.
Oh, I'll definitely hit you up.
I want to talk about a doctor eating his own fingers, for sure. And then The Stand, obviously. I mean, how can you not? And then Pet Sematary is probably my other big reread.
Now, as a doctor, do you find yourself fact-checking and or judging the medical issues that come up in Stephen King stories? Sometimes,
yeah. To be honest, I haven't found that much that annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
The one, it's not Stephen King, it's actually Joe Hill, so it's kind of Stephen King adjacent. But in that Nosferatu book, he says EEG when he meant EKG, And that it's like a thing that drove me insane. And I actually sent his like publishing company an email. They didn't write me back, but
you're like, I am a doctor, and
this is not correct. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't write me back. I'm probably on some sort of ban list now, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, that would be fine. You know, they may have corrected it. Who knows? Like,
Maybe.
They could have corrected it in the ebook version, because they often correct things in ebooks, but they don't really touch the print because that's too difficult to do. Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you should, because I bet you they probably fixed it. Maybe they just like, well, screw her, we'll fix it, but screw her.
Her and her learned doctor crap.
How dare she? Oh, and by the way, thank you.
Yeah, right.
So which Stephen King period is your favorite? So I have like the 80s, which is his vicious horror period. The 90s, this strange sort of weird era that he went through. The aughts, which was the accident recovery era, or the last 10 or 15 years or so.
I gotta go 80s. I just really enjoy all those stories. And I think that there's probably like a nostalgia factor with that, because those are the first ones I read.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy a lot of his newer stuff too. Like, Billy Summers. I like Holly. What was his most recent short story collection? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Steve, yeah, You Like It Darker, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I thought that was good, yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you say that, because when we talked last year, it was just about a year ago, I think it was in November, I said that I really enjoyed You Like It Darker, and you just kind of sat there, and then you're like, well, you can believe that if you want, or something like that.
Yeah, I calmed down a little bit. I reread it, and then I was like, all right, this is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's his best, not his best overall collection, but it's like one of the more better ones, I think. If I was to tier them, I think it would probably go around third or fourth.
All right. Yeah.
I can believe what I want, right?
You can do whatever you want, I think what King needs to do is he needs to give us an Oi backstory. That's what I want.
Oh, I would love that. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Awesome. Yeah, well, in the next episode, because we have NJ for 2 episodes here, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Dark Tower with you, and it's good to know that you're a fan.
Yeah.
I just read the whole series last year. I buckled down because I tried reading it a few times, and I would always like say, okay, I'll finish it, but then I never finished it, right? Mm-hmm. So last year I tackled the whole thing. So some of the books I read like 3 times, and then it came to the period where I only read the books once. So I absolutely love that series. I think it's my favorite series. It's so crazy.
Yeah, and there's so many interconnections between all of his other work too. So you get a lot of fan service from it, Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so Strawberry Spring. Have you heard of that term? Or
no, I actually never had before.
Yeah, neither have I, because like when I thought Strawberry Spring, that sounds to me like a Ray Bradbury type thing, right? And I was thinking maybe it would be a connection to that when I first read it like a long time ago, but I didn't know it meant like, what do you guys have a name for it? We call it January Thaw.
I've never heard of a name for it. Or at least I've never paid attention, I guess.
Do you get snow where you live?
Yeah. So I grew up in Colorado, so there's that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now in the Midwest, it doesn't start to get very springy until like April, probably.
Yeah, we get what's called a January thaw because we often it's either in January or February, it doesn't matter, but we'll get a period where it warms up and a lot of the snow goes away. And it always goes for about a week or 2, and then the winter comes back. But it's quite common here. So we're going to move into Strawberry Spring now. And note to the listener, we will be spoiling Strawberry Spring, so feel free to stop here and go read some N.J. Gallegos books, like, excuse me, The Fatal Mind. I highly recommend The Fatal Mind. And also read Strawberry Spring while you're at it. It's only about 20 pages, maybe less. And it's a fun read, too. It was first published in Hubris magazine, fall of 1968, while King was still in college. And, of course, was collected in Stephen King's Night Shift. It's been adapted into radio drama. And another fun fact, is Stephen King was only 21 years old when he read or wrote this book. The synopsis is, Strawberry Spring is a chilling first-person narrative about a series of murders on a New England college campus during an unusually early spring season called Strawberry Spring, or January Frost. The narrator recalls the fear and paranoia that gripped the campus as a killer, known as Spring-Heeled Jack. And that's where I'm going to leave that. So, Strawberry Spring, I felt... we already talked about that, so I will note down the time here. 21. All right, so what was your first impression of Strawberry Spring? Do you remember when you first read it?
You know, it had a lot of time had passed, so I mean, I recalled the bare bones of the story, so it was kind of like rediscovering it. First off, can we talk about how good of a name Spring-Heeled Jack is?
Yeah,
that is a great serial killer name.
That is a really good name. We get really dumb names for serial killers. But this is even before serial killers really had that name, serial killer, right?
Yeah, true. I enjoyed it. And, as you read along with it, there's that little niggling in your mind where you're like, is it this guy? Is it not this guy? And then the payoff at the end, Stephen King ends this story, I thought, with a bang.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I really loved the ending because he doesn't necessarily admit to doing the killings. It's like it's hidden from him, but it's highly, highly suggested that it is him. But about halfway through, at least the second time, because when I reread it, it was like reading it again for the first time. I was like, okay, it's the narrator. Yeah. He's the one doing these things. I mean, it's kind of obvious because at the beginning, my description here says he's remembering the fear and the dread that everyone went through, but he is experiencing joy at like nostalgia while remembering this time period. He's like, oh fuck, those were great times, man. Everyone was afraid, and there were bodies. Awesome time. These bodies were all chopped up. I mean, really bad, and it was great.
I mean, the atmosphere, like the way that King describes it, like it's kind of like sexy too. The snow all melts. It's foggy, misty, kind of isolating, that you're in your own little world. And it's kind of romantic in a way. Like, how do like when you're in college, you're away from home for the first time. You're on your own. You have your independence. So there's kind of something thrilling about, oh, I'm walking around, it's all scary and misty, and there might be a serial killer. Maybe I'll die, but maybe I won't. I don't know. Yeah. It just seems fun.
I also liked, I mentioned the atmosphere in my notes here too, and it's often foggy and kind of dark and almost British-like. I kind of like that too. But what do you think it is about the Strawberry Spring that triggers him into killing people? Because there's no other times when he's killing people, right?
At least that we know of, yeah. I wondered about that, if it's like maybe the barometric pressure gets to him and it just stirs him up or something, but
it's like, I got a headache.
Yeah, and he just blacks out and goes and kills somebody. I don't know. It's almost like the mist or the atmosphere like intoxicates him or something, or he like dissociates. I guess what other time to do it?
Well, you know what? Winter is a weird period in our lives, I think. A lot of people experience SAD and other ailments during winter. I know I do. And so maybe it has something to do with that. It starts warming up, you start feeling good again for a little bit, and it's like, you know what? I feel so good I could just go kill somebody.
It's kind of like you get started on an antidepressant and it gives you enough energy to like go do something.
Get out. I was able to get out of bed this morning, and well, so happens there's a body in my trunk now.
Who hasn't been there though? I mean,
I also really enjoyed the unreliable narrator aspect that we kind of brushed upon, because you don't really know, even with the ending, you don't really know if he's, I mean, you know he did it, but it's never explicitly said.
Yeah.
But you know that he's not telling the whole truth.
And I wonder if he even knows the truth, or if it's
that's a good point, right?
Kept from him also, you know?
Yeah. Because at the end, he's like, his wife thinks he was out with another woman the previous night, because it's been like, 8 years or something like that, or more, since the last Strawberry Spring. And of course, another body was found. And he's like, I think I was with another woman, but we understand that he was with another woman and he butchered her.
Yeah. Just in a different way than his wife thinks.
Not in the way she's thinking. I wonder what she would prefer.
That's true.
when you get down to it.
Yeah, because I mean, he's still technically faithful, right?
Yeah, he didn't assault the body in any way that were, at least, it never mentioned any like sexual assault, just cutting up and stuff.
Just butchery, you know.
Yeah, like I like the one kind of reminded me of like Batman's The Joker, because the body's found in the car and the head is like in the trunk or something like that, and written on the windshield is the word "ha ha," like "ha ha ha ha," and I couldn't help but think of the Joker going "ha ha ha ha," you know.
Yeah, it's a bit messed up. One thing I did write, what in the hell is trigonometry? Honestly, he's like, oh, I have my trig, midterm or whatever. Like, what is trigonometry? It's
That's
math,
a good
obviously,
question.
But like,
what's it used for, right? Like, what would he be using that? Like, what profession?
Yeah,
would he be using that for?
Flying rockets? Like, I don't know.
Could be. You know, it's interesting because they don't go into his job or anything or what he's studying. Just, I think it's only the trigonometry that's mentioned, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that going and murdering somebody would be a lot more fun than doing math. I hate math.
Yeah, me too. Math was never strong. So it was always English and history for me.
Yeah. I like the science, obviously.
Well, yeah. I like for science, for me, it always goes to space, like astrophysics. But then again, there's all that math. I love all the theory and talking about space and like black holes and all that stuff. But when it comes to like calculating stuff, I have to leave the room. I might get sick.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like once you started adding letters to math, I was like, yeah, that's enough. I'm done.
Yeah, you're like, why do they do that? They just have to make it more complicated.
Yeah.
A can never equal B.
That's what they say.
People.
Yeah, thank God somebody knows how to do it, because...
Yeah. So do you remember at all the first time you read it? Like, did the ending shock you, or were you halfway through and you were like, oh yeah, it's the narrator?
I truthfully don't remember, but I feel like I was probably a little surprised, because going back into it, like, I didn't recall that it was him. Mm-hmm. Until I was like halfway through it, and then I was suspecting it. So I don't think that my past self and now self were in communion with that. I think I was surprised initially.
Yeah, I don't remember at all. I've said this often enough, but I'll say it again. When I first read this collection, I was in my early 20s, late teens, somewhere in there. And it was kind of a foggy period in my life for certain reasons,
like
alcohol related and
spring there.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, maybe like shh. I told you not to say anything. No, substance related fogginess, and so I don't really remember. I remember sitting down to read it, and like where I was, I just don't really remember the stories. So a lot of these stories was like reading them again for the first time. And that's been an awesome experience. I don't know why I never revisit it, because there's other King books and collections even that I revisited and reread. But for some reason, Night Shift, even though everyone's like, this is the best collection there is, I don't know. I'm weird, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
you're all right. I like you.
Well, thank you. I like you too.
Thanks.
So, one final thing I want to talk about, because, there's not too much to this story. There's a bunch of murders. There's the Strawberry Spring, and then the sort of reveal at the end. But the story also explores one of King's reoccurring themes that I found interesting. It's seemingly ordinary people harboring dark secrets. Do you think that this is a broad worldview of King's, or simply a tool that he likes to use to tell good fiction?
I would say it's probably a broad worldview because, I mean, truthfully, it's probably pretty accurate, right? Like, how do you really know the true thoughts and feelings of somebody unless they explicitly tell you?
Absolutely,
how much do people actually talk about this stuff?
I think it's a healthy theory to have about people, because there's some people who think that everyone is good, but not everyone is good. I mean, I think maybe we're all born on the same level to some degree, maybe, and we sort of learn how to treat other people and whatnot. But to get back on board, what I'm trying to say here is everyone has secrets. Everyone's done some dark stuff in the past, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And I think maybe that's sort of the angle here, except King takes it to the extreme, of course, like chopping up a woman's body and like spreading out the pieces type thing, or keeping a head for a trophy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He makes it fun.
He kind of explores that in some of his other stuff. What was it? A Good Marriage, where the woman figures out that her husband's a serial killer. And I love
that story.
Yeah, it is.
That story is such an interesting concept, right? Like, what do you do if you're in that situation? It's an interesting outcome too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because like you would expect, you to know the most about your spouse, right? Like, yeah, you think that you're so intimately connected, and then you find this whole other life, like,
yeah. Well, that was inspired by a real story, right?
Wasn't it like BTK or something?
Yeah,
or no?
BTK killer. Yeah. That was it. The wife said she didn't know what was going on. Most serial killers are like not married or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or divorced or whatever. He was married for a long time with this woman while he was doing this stuff. And Stephen King's question was, how did she not know? And maybe she did know and she kept it to herself. Or maybe she was completely ignorant to it. Who knows, right?
Yeah. I think they have a Netflix something or other with his daughter coming out.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like watching those types of shows?
Oh, yeah. I love that kind of stuff. Like, I do enjoy true crime. I'm probably not as into it. Like my wife, she's into the TikTok and stuff, so she will watch all this stuff and then she tells me about it, and then I ruminate over it, and often I'll get like story ideas from the messed up stuff she tells me. Yeah.
Well, you should join the TikTok then.
It's better if she does it. She does the legwork,
Okay, yeah. You got her on assignment. She just doesn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really busy. Like I have to watch like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And stuff,
yeah. So she filters that stuff and brings you the most interesting ideas.
Yeah, she'll be like, I watched this, like police body cam footage of them finding a liquefied body in the trunk, and I'm like, tell me more.
You know what? I saw a TikTok that disturbed the hell out of me. There's these two little girls. They're, I don't know, grade 6 to 8 somewhere, and they're playing on the beach with this suitcase. Maybe they were older, I don't know, but there's this suitcase, and they were complaining how bad it smelled. And so they're playing around it for a long time before finally somebody calls the cops. And of course, there's a body stuffed in there, right?
Every time.
Yeah. It makes me want to, like, once I don't know, I guess they're young and they're not really experienced, but the way I think about it, it's like, yeah, I'm calling the cops.
Right. Like no.
They might be city people too, because I grew up in the country, and so I know what a rotting body smells like just from like animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go for a walk in the forest.
Smell. Yeah.
Yeah. You go for a walk in the forest, every once in a while you're like, well, something died around here, and it's like literally true, right?
Oh yeah. This is important education. We should have every city child go and smell a dead body so they know what they're dealing with.
Exactly, yeah. So if you smell that coming from a suitcase, don't open it, because that will give you PTSD.
For sure.
And call the cops right away.
Give them PTSD, not you.
Exactly. All right, so I think that covers. Is there anything else that you like that we missed that you'd like to talk about Strawberry Spring?
The only other thing I really enjoyed was King talked about the second victim and how he described her. Let me look. I wrote it down. Or maybe the first victim, but...
Oh, excellent.
And it's like, oh, she was a real slut, but also, a virgin, and she was a lesbian murdered by her boyfriend, and I really liked...
Talk about putting in all the...
Yeah, how gossip kind of like spirals out of control, and it's like unreliable. Like the way he described it.
It's like, let's put all the discriminations in here.
Yeah. that part I really enjoyed. I liked, she had been pregnant and she had leukemia. She was a lesbian who'd been murdered by her boyfriend. She was ugly but cute.
Yeah. There's a couple like that. Like there's later on, there's one who is fat but pretty, or fat but tragically pretty, or something like that.
Yeah, like the way he describes it.
It's just like this dude's weird. Not Stephen King, but the character, right?
Yeah. The other thing I wondered too with, I think that one was the second victim, where he mentioned that she was like the newspaper editor, and he had submitted a column idea to her and asked her on a date and was turned down by both. So it's like, was that like lingering in his psyche where he's like, oh, you're going to reject me? Well, let's cut your head off and see what happens.
This is what you get.
Yeah.
Nothing scary in that, because Jesus.
Yeah, right.
There's some guys you just don't reject, right?
Apparently not.
Because we've all heard stories, and that's something that really annoys me. If you get rejected, you're rejected. Move on.
Right.
But some people, they take, I don't know, some people's egos, they need to meditate or something.
Download Headspace and just do it for a little bit.
Yeah. All right, I want to thank you for joining me. This isn't the story you chose. I asked if you would come on and do this story with me because there's a lot of people to ask to be on the show, and somehow this one missed. I didn't have anyone, so I was like, oh no, when I was looking over my list. And so I thought maybe you'd be interested, and you said yes. So thank you so much.
Of course.
Before we go, though, I want to talk a little bit about excuse me, the book that I read of yours. It's called The Fatal Mind.
Yes.
I told you before we hit record here that I still remember Dr. Absinthe, and I remember following her and the basketball player who had the chip put in his head. I absolutely love that story. It goes outright bonkers, batshit crazy by the end of the story, and that's my favorite type of story. I added it to my favorites of that year because
I appreciated that. Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you for writing it, because it was so much fun. Can you just talk a little bit about that before we go? And, we're going to start again the next episode, just so you know, talking about that again.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that story because I almost kind of wanted to go a little bit like Twilight Zone-ish / Black Mirror with it. And I mean, truthfully, because the story is this neurologist invents these chips that she implants in people's skulls that inhibit migraines, right? And the side effects are murder. But
they can be murderous.
They can be. But how many times has drug companies or things like that push things out to market and shit goes relatively wrong, like this could actually happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of weary because they do talk about putting chips in people's heads for many things. A lot of it being like entertainment, like having a tablet in your head type thing.
Right.
Where, I wouldn't, I would not be a volunteer for the first version of that. I think I'd be on board maybe at 4.0.
Yeah, once they got a little bit further in. Yeah, because there's part of me, like, okay, so we take care of people, right, in the ER, and let's say they're unconscious, they can't give you a history, they've never been there before, so diddly squat about them. And I always thought it would be kind of nice if we did have some sort of chip that you could like scan. That's like, oh, this is what you're allergic to. These are your meds. This is that. But of course, when you start getting into that, it's going to, the government, I'm sure, would pervert it and use it for their own means. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of see that kind of thing firsthand, right?
You see a lot of things. In the ER, we're a little cushioned, I guess, from like having to deal with insurance and things because like we just take care of you. You show up, we take care of you. We don't ask questions. But I hear a lot of my colleagues that have to deal with like insurance companies and things, and they are just crooked, man. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I've heard terrible stories. I'm in Canada, so I don't really have to deal with that. But with health insurance as a public thing, we have our own problems, but I would never trade it in.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's an excellent book. I highly recommend everyone read it. It's a lot of fun. And what are you working on right now if you're able, and what do you got coming out soon if you're able to talk about
I am able.
Ooh.
So currently I have a short story collection that is with my editor, and they're all like medical horror. I think that will probably be out sometime this next year. And then I have what I'm calling my lesbian cannibal novella, which will be coming out probably spring of 2026. It's about a woman who is in medical school who has a very concerning crush on a classmate.
Nice. And when's that coming out?
Should be spring of 2026.
Excellent. All right, I can't wait. You're welcome to come back on the Weird Reads podcast and discuss it if you want.
I would love that.
All right. Well, where can people find you online?
So you can find me on Twitter. I will not call it X because fuck you, Elon, at Dr. Spooky _ER. Yeah, it's like you can't acknowledge what trans people want to be called. I'm not calling your fucking platform X, so fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can find me on Blue Sky at Dr. Spooky ER. And then my website is njgallegos.com, and Gallegos is Gallegos. Gallegos.
All right, so until next time, stay tuned. In a few episodes, NJ will be back, and you may notice that we're wearing the same clothes, but that's okay. All right, talk to you soon.
Awesome.